Good morning, folks. My name's Adam. Welcome back to the channel. You catch me here this morning. It's Friday the 21st of January. I'm at Northampton, parked up at Northampton. I'm going to Daventry. And it's a case of you wait that long for something, two come along at once. Is that the saying? Like buses? Because we're getting another sheeted load. And I was saying how long it had been since I did a sheeted load. We did one Tuesday, and we're now doing one Friday. Got a collection out of a freight forwarders, and it's going down to another, what looks like another freight forwarder. So no idea what the product is. I just know it needs sheeting, and I know it's going to Romford. It's 12 minutes past 6 now. Started at 6. Just done my walk round checks. We're about half an hour, 35 minutes away from where we need to be doing the collection point. And we're booked in at 7, or we've got to be there for 7. So we'll crack on over there, get set up, get the fall arrest system down, and then have a look at what we're loading, get it loaded, get it strapped down, get it sheeted, get to Romford. I'll bring you back when we're getting the load on, when we're getting the sheets on. Well, I've arrived on site. Massive big new build. Don't look like it's been in operation for too long. When I googled the company last night, it said that they've got a big new site, and it is big. But I still don't know what product I'm collecting. And looking at it, I mean, there is a flatbed down there, but it's mainly torque liners. I'm looking what's around. There's crates and there's all sorts of things. Looks like air conditioning units there. More crates. We've looked like ingots, aluminium or steel ingots in them. I've got a lot of them, so that'd be nice if it was them. But my mind is just ticking a little bit, and I'm thinking they could have just sent a torque liner in here to do this collection, but maybe they've only got me available. Because if it's just them crates, they'll go on a torque liner quite easily. And there'll be no restrictions to where they're going, because I think that's like another freight forwarding company. So they're not going to have any issues getting torque liners in there and things like that. So I'm just wondering if this product is too big to put in a torque liner. I.e. just, you know, getting it in general, if it's hangs over a little bit on the sides or what have you. But if that's the case, my sheets won't cover it. Not unless it's quite a low load. If it's high and as wide and long, my two little half fly sheets will not cover the load. They've just basically told me to wait in the truck. Somebody will come round and let me know when I can go round to get loaded. So it sounds like I could be loading around the other side of the factory. So these things that I can see here might not be the product I'm loading. If it's them small air conditioning units there, then yeah, I'll get away with sheeting them. If it's the crates, I can see, no problem. If it's them large air conditioning units, but then again, all this equipment's sat outside, so it's not going to be any of this equipment outside. Thinking about it, if it needs a sheet over it, you don't leave it open to the elements outside. It's going to be inside the building. So that's probably what she's saying about me going round and getting in, and I'll get inside the building. So whatever products I'm collecting, it will be inside the building. Otherwise, it's just going to get wet and damaged sat out here. I got parked up early last night at Northampton, and I went for Trying to get a bit of a fitness and lose some weight, as I've said. My diet's done alright this week. No Greggs yet. Whether I'm going to get Greggs Friday today, I don't know. I'm craving a nice coffee and a brew, but we'll see. We'll see. But last night I did 5 kilometres. I was looking at that, and my daughter was talking about it, the coach to 5k. Like an idiot, I just decided I'll just get out, go 2.5k in one direction and come back. And it was more of like a walk, run. I wasn't running constantly, I couldn't have done it. Last time I've done any running like that, bloody hell, 6-7 years ago. So I've done a bit, you know, odd bits of cycling in between, the odd bits of other fads at exercising, but as for getting out and just pure running, no, not done that for years. So the first like 1.5 kilometres, something like that, I ran, and then I started to slow down. And once I got to 2 kilometres in, it was run a lamppost, walk a lamppost, run a lamppost, walk a lamppost. Then I sort of like, come on, get your ass in gear. Started to run 2 lampposts, walk a lamppost, run 2. And I got to 4. Well, I got to the 2.5k's and started to run back towards the truck. And then got to like 4k's, and I was down to like walking pace for a 1/4 kilometre or something like that. And then I started to step it up. And then the last, I don't know, few hundred yards, I started to like try to get beast mode on. Tried to do a bit of get the speed up. I think he said 11 point something kilometres was my fastest speed. I was doing the kilometres in about 8.5 minutes, 42 minutes it was. It was about 8.5 minutes, which, you know, I'm not going for times, I just wanted to get the distance. I've done 10 kilometres in 42 minutes it was. I've done 10 kilometres in just over 52 minutes. But, you know, I'm going back, oh, God, 10 years, easy. But not bad. It's a start. It's a start. It's cold this morning. What are we on? I've not even looked. There we go. I don't want to lost my keys. What are we on this morning? -1. I can feel it as well. My truck is absolutely minging. I have never, ever, in all my transport career, all my years of driving trucks, well, as I can remember anyway, I had a truck this dirty. The windows, ridiculous. I managed to get the glass, like wash with a bit of an hose pipe and a what's it? They had a brush and soap and an hose pipe in a yard that I did a collection out of yesterday, and I managed to do my glass and all my lights. But it's been sort of like drizzling and damp everywhere I've been this week, and the shit off the roads, the salt, and it's like caped on. It's honestly, it's black. The truck, down the wheels are black. All the exhaust, all the tank, it's black. It's not like it's, you know, it is black. It's like someone's sprayed my wheels black. But we don't wash on the road. Yesterday we were at Toddington. Had a bit of time to kill for, you know, I was obviously just making my way for this collection this morning. And I contemplated dropping the trailer and putting it through the wash, but we don't get paid. They won't pay us for that. They don't allow us to wash our trucks out on the road. We've got depots around the country, and normally 9 times out of 10 you're in a depot at some point during the week. So midweek, when it's like this, you can give it a wash off. But unfortunately I've just not been in a depot. But it's minging. I'll show you when I get out. I'll show you. It's, oh, honestly, it's embarrassing. It's that dirty. And I won't get to a depot today. Going to Romford, the only chance of a depot really, maybe later on, if I'm heading north. And say they send me to Ellistown or something like that, I will get in to Woodville and clean it. Unless we've got time to get home. Got a 15-hour day left, so. Anyway, I'm going to get a brew. I might even chance having some cereal. But you know what'll happen, as soon as I put my milk in it, they'll be round. But yeah, I think I'm going to get my cereal and a brew. Keep me away from Greggs this morning if I get my breakfast now. Rightio, I will bring you back and hopefully we're inside the building getting loaded. And I'll stick you on top of the pod. Well, it's been a bit of a wait. It's now 20 to 10. Been here since 7 o'clock. They've now sent me round the back to put this piece on. Come round the back here and there's a lot of like big heavy duty motors, engines, big large machinery engines, things like that. The size of that engine, it could be for anything. So I've still not clapped eyes on what I'm loading yet. He's told me to spin round and park up here. So I'm going to go and jump out and go and have a look, see what it is. And get it on, hopefully, get it sheeted and get that to Romford. Not going to make it back tonight now, it's going to be Saturday morning running. Well, that's the nature of the beast, I'm afraid. The nature of the beast. Something in that doorway there that they've took off this vehicle in front, because they told me it wasn't here, it was going to be at 9:30. So whatever it is, they've took off this vehicle in front, so maybe they're wrapping it now and sorting it out. We're going to have a look what we're dealing with and bob the camera up on the back and see the loading and sheeting process. What's the temperature now? 0.5. So we haven't warmed up any really. Right, I'm going to have a look at it. Apologies guys, I seem to, well, the battery went flat on the GoPro, so you missed the sheeting. I actually backed into a purpose built gantry they've got there, down in a dip. Brilliant bit of kit. All the rails come out, pull out at the side, and managed to get a sheet over it. Let you have a look at it. Obviously it's not covering the whole load, but luckily they only need the top of it covering. But remember what I was saying about I've got a feeling that I'm going to need some sort of machine sheets. That's the rest of the load all to go with it. Big massive generator it is, and all the stuff to go with it. Some rollers on the back. Some rollers on the back there. But yeah, as I was saying about, I had an idea by looking at what was in here that this is going to be something big that I'm going to need, that's not going to go in a taut liner, that I'm going to need machine sheets for. You just get that feeling, experience, whatever it is, but you just get that feeling. And anyway, as it's turned out, I'm right. But luckily I have carried one of these before and I did exactly the same then. The sheet only needs to stop the water running in and getting in the controls at the top, and getting in like the air filter and things like that, and the exhaust port. So that'll do. The sheet's on, it's covering that, the plastic's covering everything else. Yeah, just have a look at this. Look at the colour of this truck. It is absolutely disgusting. Look at it. It's horrible. All this side, the exhaust. Look at that. I don't want to do this because I might scratch it, but oh. Hopefully that'll come off pretty easy. Right, I'm going to crack on, put you back on when I get in the cab, ring work, let them know. I'll just show you this. That's how I've had to restrain it through. I've got 2 straps going through each one of these, pulling it both ways. Same here. Strap ratchet this way, strap ratchet, strap with a ratchet that way, strap with a ratchet this way, going through the eye holes. Make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Same both sides. That's the only way you can do it. There's no other way that they let you do it, because they say it can damage the frame at the bottom, and you can't chuck straps over the load because it'll damage the components on the top. The components that obviously need protecting with the sheet. Right, just give them a quick ring, let them know I'm loaded. ETA, I'm in about 2.5 hours. Let's just bang it in the sat nav, make sure there's no traffic problems and what have you. Address, enter postcode. No. Where's it going to? Mexico. It's final destination. Like I said, these are just a freight forwarding company that I'm going to. The final destination is Mexico. Merida. Yucatan, Mexico. Can't see a company name on there, apart from the company I've collected it from. Right, he sent me a message with the address where we're going to. Somewhere. RM143. Very optimistic, my sat nav. 1 hour 47. I'd say 2.5 hours, so I'd say 2:30. I'm going to say 2:30, sorry. Let me ring you. Hey mate, I'm loaded. I'd say 2:30. Sat nav saying 2 hours, but I just had a bit on in case. Alright, cheers mate. Ta. That was the transport manager. Oh, all this crap off there. In the bin. Windows could do with a clean. Try and do that. Stop at services. I'm going to have to put some fuel in. So hopefully I'll have some facilities to clean my windows. Yeah, again, I apologise that you didn't get to see that gantry and that sheet. It would have been nice to show you that, really. Back down the hill into what they called the pit, is what they called it. And it was like going into a pit. Quite tight. You had the yellow rails on the floor down the side where you got to get your tyres in between to keep you straight. And then the gantry come out over the top. And another lad got up and helped me roll the sheet over. He was the wasn't the transport manager, what was he? Distribution manager. So he was happy when he said, oh, I didn't think the sheet would be as big, because I'd said to him, I'll be honest with you, I don't know how much of my sheets will cover it, so we might have to put drape one side, drape one the other, and do our best. And he said that I only need the top covering. And when I put it on, he said, oh, it's bigger than I thought. He said, we'll just do with one sheet. I thought, you'll do for me, pal. But yeah, I took one of these from, I don't know where I collected it from. And I know I took it up to a unit in St Helens somewhere. And that was the same. I only had to chuck a sheet over the top. And it was the same, a big Cummins engine or generator, whatever you want to call it. It's more like an engine, isn't it? Big radiator on the back of it and stuff. Massive thing, isn't it? Massive unit, that. Cummins, eh? They had some good engines in whatever. Back in the day, they do gearboxes. Cummins, they did the engines, didn't they? And I know Eaton did a lot of the gearboxes. All old boys will tell you. Cummins 160 and an Eaton splitter. Won't pull paint, won't pull skin off a rice pudding, would it? But in them days, you know what I mean, from what they had, getting up to like that type of stuff, plus they wouldn't have been carrying the weight that we carry now. They'd have been over the moon with that. Gardner engine, that were another one as well, weren't it? The Gardner. I might be getting mixed up. You older boys will put me right. I know Eaton though, I know Eaton did the gearboxes because they had a big Eaton factory near me. Eaton gearboxes. A rumour that my old transport manager, my very first transport manager, when he worked at Eaton's, they'd gone on strike and he carried on working, and one of the bosses was sneaking him in and boot to his car. Now I don't know whether that was true or not, because that came from somebody who wasn't very keen on him, so it could have just been stuff to bad mouthing. So it's not something that I oh, well, I took it with a pinch of salt anyway. But it could have been true, because he was a grafter, that lad. My first transport manager. And a good bloke. Give me a start. So if he was doing that, he'd have had his reasons. He definitely had his reasons, like we all do. Half the time it's for the good of the workforce, isn't it? Because it might just need somebody in there just to keep the job ticking over, so there's a job to come back to when they come back off strike. But something I've never had to deal with this day and age, and hopefully something we never have to deal with again. The unions and striking. Thatcher's Britain. Nothing wrong with Maggie Thatcher. I'm not getting political here, but I don't know, I think, like I said, got her reasons as well, didn't she, for doing what she did. And at least she had a bit of backbone, not like these lot now, I tell you. Not like these lot now. People will have their opinions on what Thatcher did, and obviously, you know, people would have seen family members and things out of jobs, and the poll tax came in and things like that. I get it, but it did a lot of good as well, that woman. And stood up and had a bit of spine for this country. You know, stopped the football violence, stopped a lot of things, stopped them all going out on strike. Cleverly brought in the right to buy scheme, so everyone was out there buying their houses nice and cheap. But what happens then? So you got no one to pay your rent, so you can't go on strike. But someone had to get a grip of the unions. They were getting out of hand. They were, you know, some of it, yeah, was legit, but other things, we priced ourselves out of everything, really, didn't we? With striking for more money, striking for this, striking for that. In the end, when you look at it, when you weigh it up and you really think about it, you know, I suppose if you've been through that and you've seen family members go through that, it's hard to look at it objectively, but if you do, I mean, you'll see that someone had to put a stop to it, and they were pricing themselves out of it, and that's why a lot of our industry's gone now and gone abroad, because if it were cheaper to ship coal in from China than coal it ourselves, what does that tell you? And I mean, and them men deserved a lot of money, don't get me wrong, them men deserved a lot of money going down the pits, doing what they were doing. I'm not saying that they didn't, they certainly did. But, you know, some of these people on production lines from British Leyland and Ford and things like that. I went to, tell you a little story here now, right, of an example. I went to Ford's at Dagenham when they were, I mean, Ford's at Dagenham, when I first started driving, there were Fords. When you come over the 13 at Dagenham, you got that big, people know it, that big iconic sort of like, I don't know, flying saucer shape Ford sign as you come over the hill. There was cars everywhere, as far as the eye could see, all the cars that we'd obviously been producing. And then that dwindled over the years, and parts of Ford shut, and they just do sort of import and export out of there now, obviously, because they had the dock and they had the train link coming in and things like that. But parts of it still kept going. They were still building the transit van there and something else. Only thing they build at Dagenham now is the engines for the transit vans. And that engine might go into different things, but the transit vans come in there and have the engines put in. I'm pretty sure that's all they do. But when we went into the last section of it, which I think was all like the dies and all that for the vans, for the transit vans and certain things that they were still building, the lads that were there overseeing like the loading of all this were all going for scrap. And the lads on the weighbridge, 2 lads on the weighbridge, 2 old boys on the weighbridge, almost there at retirement age, so it was better for them to see it out to retirement and get the pension than it was to get paid off. And obviously they've been there a million years. But some of the things, I mean, I had an RS Turbo at the time, and I asked one of them, there's no like RS Turbo parts lying about anywhere, is there? And they just sort of laughed. He said, well, I said, I wouldn't mind a new turbo, new Garrett Turbo for it. And they said, you know what, there used to be a lad here, and that's all he did on the night shift, as them boys did nights. And he said, all he did. I mean, obviously he wouldn't have been doing it all the time, but he had a sideline where he'd get these turbos for, you know, the old RS Turbos, the old RS Cosworths and things like that, and what have you, sent to him, and he'd rebuild them. And he'd rebuild them on the night shift while he should have been working. And then he said another lad, his missus had just got married and bought an house. Not his missus, what am I talking about? His daughter had just got married and bought an house. It'd be alright if his missus got married, wouldn't it? His daughter had just got married and bought an house, and they covered him while he snuck off for about a month, redecorating every room in the house on night shift. You know, just things like that that they were telling me. And then, you know, they'd go on strike if somebody used somebody else's brush to sweep something. It was just crazy. Crazy. I mean, I think even he was sort of like seeing the side of it, that, you know, some of the things that they were doing and getting away with were just incredible. But, you know, you've got one bloke and using parts, no, not paying for the parts, using the parts out of the stores to repair these turbos and stuff for his own getting. And then you've another guy going out doing a decorating job on his daughter's house, while he should have been working. Now you can just imagine them getting caught doing that and then them going out on strike because they've sacked him. Crazy. But like I say, I'm only looking at it from my point of view. You know, none of my family at that time, maybe before that, but at that time, worked down the pit and worked for companies like that. My granddad worked on the railway most of his life, and then in the foundry at the local works once he came off. Still part of the railway, but that kept going, didn't it? So I'm just making my way now out of Daventry on the A45 back towards Northampton and then the M1. And I'm going to have to stop and just get a quick bite to eat. I've had 2 Weetabix and a banana chopped up on top of it this morning. It's now 12 o'clock and that was about 7:30. Well, we'll stop, knock a brew up, grab something to eat, and then I'll see you lot when we get down there. See what we can film, getting the sheet off and getting it offloaded. I'll make sure I put a full battery in. Just turned 25 past now, so we're a couple of minutes away. So bang on really, what we said our ETA would be. So if our office have done their bit and informed them down here, then they should be expecting me any minute. Turning right into it, just down here. Off the top of my head what the actual little industrial estate was called, but I'm pretty sure it'll come back to me when I see the sign. You see the entrance now, just still stuck behind this tractor. There's no point in trying to overtake him. 200 yards from me turning. When I looked at it though, it looked like it was on the left. It's definitely on the right, yeah. Some units there on the right. It's a big house on the left. What want me pulling in there? Yard 2 unit scaffolding. That's not it, it's got to be this one. That's it, Wick Place, that's it. Looks like it's in the corner here. There it is. Posh cars in here. The Porsches there and a Ferrari. Must be ready for import or export. Either been imported or they're going to be exported. Here you are. Here we are. Couple load of this. Someone's got a bit of money. Maseratis, Porsches, Bentleys. Range Rovers down there. Aston Martin. There's a few quid's worth of cars in there, isn't there? There certainly is. Yeah, have a look at this. It's a proper engine, isn't it? I know they say it's a generator, but it's probably what it's used for. Turbo on it and all sorts. They look like fuel filters. Big massive radiator and fan on it. Thing is absolutely massive, and how many cylinders that thing's got. Fair few, I imagine, a fair few. There we are, have a look at this. There's the turbos on the top. It's gone some heat gone through them already, hasn't there? That's probably the exhaust. That on the other side. Look, turbos. Same turbos on the other side as well. That I were pointing at was probably just a water pump or something. Size of this thing. Some engine that. 2,180 kilowatts. That's all your power ratings. Oh. Massive bit of kit. That engine was an impressive bit of machinery. That it was definitely an impressive bit of kit, but not half as impressive some of the cars they had in there. Jesus Christ, rollers, Bentleys, Mercedes, G-Wagons. I'll put some pictures up now. See what I mean? Some serious bit of kit in there. Jesus. Don't know the story behind it, whether importing them, exporting them, no idea. But it's some serious bit of kit. But yeah, going back to that engine, 17.5 ton. It was that Cummins engine, 17.5 ton. Massive turbos on it, some power. But it's obviously going to be used as some sort of generator somewhere where they can't get any power, I imagine. Because it doesn't have to put out some kilowatts. So obviously they class it as a generator, but it's, you know, a generator. My head is a little thing like that, but it's, I suppose the engine's not used for propulsion, it's used to generate electricity to power whatever they need. Obviously where it's going in Mexico. But yeah, some bit of kit that. Just lifted it off, signed my paperwork, and that was me. Done and dusted. And on our way home, he just said when I rung him, yeah, just head back, get back tonight. Fair enough, if not, run it in the morning. I'll not get back tonight. I mean, it's 5 to 4 now. The optimistic sat nav is saying 4 hours, which would be 8 o'clock, which would give me half an hour's grace. But if I get back from Romford to Manchester on a Friday afternoon in 4 hours, I would show my arse in Woolworth's window if they still had a window. Not a chance. So I'm going to aim for maybe Middlewich at a push, if not Stafford. Middlewich, I'm 40 minutes from the depot. Stafford, about an hour and 10, give or take. Well, that's where I'm going to aim for. Or do I just run up the A1? Decision. Up the A1 and try and avoid the carnage of the M20. Well, still get the M25, but the carnage of the bottom of the M1 and the M6. I'll make a judgment when I get there, have a look at traffic, see which way we're going to head home. Always a good feeling when you get that last load off on a Friday. Doesn't matter to me whether I get back tonight or I get back in the morning. Right, well that's me signing off. So you guys all stay safe, be good, be kind, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye for now.